tower. Every four computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alrighty, making sure everything's set up how I want it. Alright, so hello everybody, happy Tuesday, I was gonna say Wednesday. We are gonna keep coloring the 404 not found page with the robots. So every day the robots wake and eat their daily robot cake. I'm hoping to get through this picture today, so we'll just work on coloring this and see how it goes. So let's see. Alright, my brain's a little bit fried. I'm thinking of 100 other things. So it'd be orange would be the background. Oh my gosh, my brain. So green. I'm gonna make him green. Sorry, I had an idea in my head that I wanted to do with these guys, so I might need to get a sharpener. We'll see. Wait. Yellow, green, blue. These would be blue. Sorry, we should make him... I know what I did. Alright. Well, let's see. Yeah. So this guy should be blues, right? We don't like that background. You know what I'll do? Let's see. Purple, orange. We'll do green. It doesn't matter. So how's everybody doing on this fantastic Tuesday? Over the weekend we had our, we did Gen Con online, so I ran one game of Numenera, and I played in a game of Fate Condensed, not Consolidated, and I played in a game of The Strange, which is also another Cypher System game. They were a lot of fun, so we got to do that. Oh, and I owe, if SK comes in, SK, if you pop in, let me know, because I know I owe you your drawing, which I should probably grab out the materials for that, just in case you do pop in. Which I think I have the notebook. The notebook's like right over here. Shoot, where did I put it? Sorry, I had a baby come through, and he was like a little tornado today and just like messed up everything he touched. So my office is kind of trashed again at the moment. And as such, I don't know where half my stuff is because I kept having to move stuff out of his reach. Which means things got put in weird spaces, as anybody who has kids knows. But yeah, my husband played 4 games of geez, what was that system? Stargate, the new Stargate system that I guess they revealed it last year, or sorry, they prototyped it in like 2019, and then kind of revealed it last year, and then this year they were really trying to like showcase it and stuff. He really enjoyed it, and our friend Tony actually wound up buying a copy of the PDF because he really enjoyed some of the rules. Specifically, I believe the pursuit mechanics, like pursuit and chase, and some of the mechanics involving social interactions. Like you can do like a social interaction challenge, I guess he was saying. So, but they had a lot of fun. So, and they played 4 games of that. So that's the only system he played. But they played four different games of that across the 4 days. They played 1 on Thursday, 1 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. So we got our gaming in, and then we have this weekend coming up, which I probably won't be streaming on Saturday, because I have a friend coming up on Friday to work on some stuff, working on the flowers for her wedding. We've got one more batch to get through. So she's coming up on Friday, and we're going to work on that kind of Friday night and Saturday and knock them out real quick, hopefully. And then Sunday we have a podcast recording. Woohoo! So I get to play some D&D on Sunday. Pretty excited. I'm trying to remember what we were even doing, but that's what recaps are for, right? I want like a nice blue. I think like this color. Just do a little. I want to look a little bit like iridescent-y. Dark blue. I have a nice dark. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm gonna be trying to set up some stuff on OutSchool. If you guys have heard of that. So I'm gonna try to set up some like D&D or other sorts of RPG classes. Probably not D&D, because it looked like there was a bunch of our like D&D already. So I was going to look at doing maybe some Cypher systems, some Numenera, definitely some No Thank You Evil, maybe some just generic, like how to run a game, like what's it like to run a game, and tips for, like improving your GMing. So I'll have to get those set up here in the nearish future. But yeah, otherwise, I haven't got much going on. Been pretty chill, because last week was with it being the convention and stuff. I want like a nice dark green. I feel like none of these greens are like jumping out at me is the problem. They all look like off. I just want like green, like your standard green. Like here's grass green. Maybe it's this guy. Peacock green. So yeah, that's. I'm trying to think. This would go. I'm start by coloring it on. What else is going on? Not a whole heckin' of a lot. My son's first birthday is coming up next month. He'll be one big ol' whopping 1 year old. Yeah, I got a couple side projects that I want to work on that I won't be streaming or probably sharing in Discords and stuff because they're for some people we know collectively. That's really it. Nothing. Like I said, my life is kind of boring at the moment. Alright, so we're gonna do this one. What is everybody else up to this week? How was your weekend? What do you got planned coming up for this coming weekend, if anything? Listen. Yep. What color is this? Spring green. I like this one a lot, apparently. I don't know. Oh. Alright, and then I'm gonna do like a little bit this one. Dark green. Just double check that that's not something important. Which probably isn't. Oh, it's a good thing I checked. I almost forgot I have a thing tomorrow night. I was thinking it was next weekend for some reason. It's, we're doing like an art night with a couple girls. So unfortunately, Miss Gloom, if you're still in the chat, I may be a little late to your stream. Depending on how late we do art stuff with my group of friends. So it's the same group that I do the book club folks. So we're gonna meet up and do some arting and crafting. Alright, and then I'm gonna do this one. Taryn, how are you? What's happening? What's going on? Didn't you have some kind of job interview not too long ago? Yeah. I vaguely recall you were doing some kind of job thing to go back up north, maybe, possibly. Northish, north adjacent. Oh, geez. Well, fingers still crossed for you then. That's annoying. That could take up to 6 months to find out. Jeez. She's gone. Super north. Oh, okay, Massachusetts. Okay, I couldn't remember what state. For some reason, my brain was saying, like, North Carolina. Gotcha. That's cool, though. Hopefully you hear back sooner rather than later. But cool. Glad you haven't heard back negatively. I did, I don't know if you've heard of OutSchool. It's for like 3 to 18. I need to double check. It's either 3 to 18 or 5 to 18-year-olds. But it's basically for kids, and it's like a alternative learning, online learning thing. And I did the application for that today and got accepted. So I was pretty excited. I was super nervous to do it. But yeah. So I gotta set up some classes on there. I'm hoping to teach some gaming stuff, like, GMing, playing in role-play games, and, just some other stuff like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I did get to play, as I was saying earlier, that this past weekend was Gen Con Online. So I got to play, I ran a game of Numenera, and then I played in, a game of Fate Condensed, and a game of The Strange, which is another cipher system like Numenera. They were all a lot of fun. So I was scheduled to originally to run 2 Numenera games, but one of them didn't have anybody sign up for it, so it got canceled. Which is fine because I was super tired by that point. That was a Saturday afternoon. It was supposed to be like 12 to 4. There's online. I know it's much better in person. 100% better in person. But, now that I'm past the Gen Con, and once I definitely get this other, I have a project for a friend that I'm working on. Once I get that out of the way, I will hopefully be able to get some things planned for the out school, as well as getting some more gaming maybe set up in my life. Even if it's just one-shots or, writing stuff. Now, Taryn, have you played other systems? Or only D&D? And which edition D&D or Pathfinder? I can't remember. Because I do like D&D, however, I'm a big fan of, Cypher system games. Running and playing. Of course, I haven't played as much as I've run, but that's besides the point. And also, do you DM? Gotcha, yeah. So, Cypher system is I actually have, I put those sheets away, I think. Yeah, I put the sheets away. Cypher system's super easy system to run. It's not, that's the thing though, if you like, especially if you're playing 3.5 D&D, there's a lot of crunch. If you like that, Cypher system's not going to be a system for you. It's a lot more theater of the mind, and a lot more flexible. So it's not as bound by all the rules. You don't DM? Well, you could try. No. But it's pretty sweet because it's you don't really have hit points. You have 3 pools of stats. So you have might, speed, and intellect. Obviously your strength, your speed, and then your brain, your mental powers. And you basically have these 3 pools, and they work as both kind of your sort of hit points, as well as as well as a resource. So you use points out of those pools to do stuff, but also when you take damage, it comes out of those pools. So it's all just the 3 stats, but then you have skills and abilities. So all that's super, super easy. I'd say the hardest, most challenging change from D&D is that it goes, instead of doing everything by if I were to say something is a difficulty 4, it doesn't mean you have to roll a 4 or higher on the dice. It means you have to roll a 12 or higher. Difficulties are times 3 to get your target number. So everything's on a d20. And actually the DM doesn't roll any dice ever. The players roll all the dice. So that's probably the trickiest part. But you guys, when you play, it's pretty straightforward. You can do stuff. And if I say, the difficulty's a 4, you can do a lot of stuff to make it easier. So you would basically what's called ease it to make it easier by assets, like if you're trying to do something like climb across something and you have rope and a climbing kit, that would give you an asset to make it one step easier. So instead of a difficulty 4, it'd be a difficulty 3, which means your target number is a 9. So it's stuff like that. And it does take a little bit of getting used to like those mechanics. But once you kind of get your head around that piece, it's like super, super easy. It's one of my probably favorite systems. And then Numenera is just an amazing setting. The premise is that it's the 9th age of man. Basically, 8 previous civilizations of man have like risen and fallen in the past. And there's this stuff that's found, like technology, called Numenera. And it's basically like random tech that you don't know what it does. Because it's, from a previous civilization. And so it's like almost mystical. So it's a really, really fun concept. It's like sort of sci-fi, fantasy-ish. But it's a really, really, really fun game. I ran one campaign in that. And then I've run a couple one-shots of that as well. And actually, the most recent kind of one-shots we've been doing that were Numenera, Ms. Gloom, if she's still in the chat, played in it, as well as I feel like somebody else played in it. Liz played in it? No, Liz. I don't remember. I thought Liz played in it. There's a couple people that played in it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then the convention, like I said, was over the weekend. And Fate was really fun. I don't know that I really understood the rules super a lot, but I had a great time. So that's all that really counts, right? Just because the way we were rolling and, just trying to keep the pace of the game going. And then the Strange was a lot of fun. I'd been wanting to play in a Strange game for a while, because I know it's another Cypher System game. And the premise of that one is that there's like, how to explain it? So there's Earth, and then there's basically like, if you think of every fantasy, sci-fi, and such sort of setting, so like Dune, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, all of those, they all have their own universes, which are called recursions, that you can like go into. And then there's a couple extra ones that aren't created by human. They were like in existence beforehand. But basically there's all these, what they're called recursions. And when you translate into a recursion, so let's say I were to translate into Star Wars, I would become like a Star Wars character, like an Ewok or a, whatever's kind of like the Earth equivalent in that world. And all your stuff kind of changes to morph so that you fit in. And most of the characters and things in the recursions don't know that they're in these like alternate bubbles. They don't know that they're created, so it's like really, really crazy. So it's that's kind of the basis in a gist. At least that's how they kind of described it at the thing. But yeah, so ours was basically, we got summoned to go take care of this lady who was killing off people from our military program that we were in, like a decade before. And yeah, she had been kidnapping people and basically torturing them and doing experiments on them. She was not a very nice lady. Oh, what the heck? Hang on. Am I still live? says I'm still live. Sorry, I got a thing that just popped up saying my internet or something disconnected, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, it looks like I'm still live. Okay, just want to make sure. But yeah, so that was fun. I was playing a very, what you call it? Kind of like a brawler type. Carried a big bat, you know, beat things up. So that was cool. Oh, that is not the one I wanted. I wanted the black one. The very end of it, I got to like jump at this. Well, the first fight we did, there was some dinosaurs, you know, a la Jurassic Park, and I got to destroy one with my baseball bat. And then like the main boss fight, I basically like had these like Wolverine claws because we translated into a world that we were like sort of humanoid, cyborgy people. And I got to rip the lady's face, face and neck open with these sweet, sweet Wolverine claws. So, yeah, good times, good times. Yeah, if you want to look into them, it's by Monty Cook Games is who they're by. But yeah, otherwise, nothing else going on here. We had the gaming. And Fate was really cool. It was a very different system. If you want to do, I don't know if you said you've only played D&D, so on a scale of like 1 to 10, the best way to describe it, D&D is probably like, as far as like crunch, depending on what version you're playing, maybe around like a 6 or 7. Then you have like your battle text, it's like your 10, like as far as crunch. I'd say Fate is down at like the 2. It was super, super like light mechanics wise. Basically you just make up stuff and the DM kind of rolls on it, or rules on it, and then you roll some dice and figure out if it works and how good it works. So it's pretty cool. I hadn't played it before. Oh, I put that back. But I did enjoy it. Now, I don't know if this color's coming through, but it is actually like silvery that I'm using right now on the robot. So he is like silvery. Yeah. Listen, you know my direct message, my DM. I will talk your ear off about games. I love me some games. Actually, last stream I was talking about some other alternate games I really, really want to play. One of which I'll show you real quick because it's right here still. Oh no, a pencil. Alright, so this game is one that I really, really, really want to play. Sorry, I was getting my pencil. This is called Wander Home, and it's a combat-free system. There's no combat whatsoever. You are literally just, you play really cute animals, and it's after, like, a major war has just wrapped up in the land, and you're basically traveling around the land, kind of exploring, like, what it looks like afterwards, and the whole premise is to, like, kind of like experience and enjoy like the mundane. So it's a really different concept, and like the art is really cool. So like here's some of the Pilgrim Hi, Sophie. My dog's poking her head in the door. What you want, pup? You can come in. The moth tender. But yeah, it's a really, really cool game. So one day I will get to play this. And this one can be played with or without a GM. You can play where one person's a GM, runs the game, or you can play it where you have rotating GMs. So it's kind of cool. But that's one I really, really want to play. I got that one off Kickstarter. And they were at Gen Con. I'm so sad I didn't get to, like, see them because I did Gen Con online, you know. And they were there in person. It's like, man, maybe next year I'll take it and get to play it and or get signed or something by the writers. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many systems, so little time. Yeah, Wander Home. There's like, I have so many systems. Blades in the Dark, Wander Home, Scum and Villainy, The Strange, Changeling, and there's 2 Changelings. There's Changeling the Lost, and then I found out the other day that there's another one called Changeling the Dreaming. And the difference between the two, so they're both the premises that you've been, like, kidnapped by Fae, and a changeling has been left in your place that's, like, kind of, you know, filling your place in the world, and you're taken by the Fae, and, you know, living in their realm, maybe transforming into them, stuff like that. So, from what I understand, Changeling the Dreaming is about your time under their control. Like, how does it, like, what's it like being in the Fae realms and being, you know, treated by them, etc. Mostly it's more upbeat, it's more like, you know, because you're, like, enchanted, basically. And then there's Changeling the Lost, which is, I guess, after you've been released by the Fae, you're left in, like, the Hedge, which is kind of like a limbo between the Fae world and the real world. But the problem is there's, like, this thing, I think they call it a fetch, in your place. And it's like, well, do you destroy it and try to, like, reclaim your life? Do you stay in the Hedge and help protect other, you know, other folks that have been kidnapped, basically? Or do you, you know, try to fully convert to, like, the Fae side? So it's a little bit darker, but definitely seems really interesting. I will say I've been trying to read the book, and it's kind of a hard read, just because the layout is very different compared to a lot of other books I've read. So, but I guess recently they came out with Changeling the Dreaming LARP rules. No, you did not. But yeah, they just recently came out with the LARP version of Changeling the Dreaming, where I guess they've had Changeling the Lost for a while. Yep. Yeah, if you want, I can send you a whole list of them. The only one that I would really love to play more of that's not feasible online that I know of is Dread. That's the only one that's not really an online game, because the mechanic it uses for doing stuff is a Jenga tower, and you can't really mimic that in another way on a, you know, on a virtual tabletop. I mean, I guess you kind of could with, like, Tabletop Simulator, but it's not the same, if that makes sense. But that one's really fun, because that one is all about, as the name implies, dread. I think the next robot's going, wait, pink. I want a pink robot. So let's get some pink going up in here. Yeah, so Dread's really cool. It's like a horror themed tabletop game, and it uses a Jenga tower. So when you get ready to do something, if I was like DMing and you're like, oh, I want to try to like investigate this thing, I would say, okay, well that's pretty difficult. You don't have like any area of expertise, or maybe you don't have like the right tools, or let's say you have to pull 2 blocks. So you pull 2 blocks and you have to stack them. Obviously, as the game progresses, the tower gets all wonky and wobbly, and if you pull and it falls over, your character dies, or you're out of the game, so to speak. However, there is a cool kind of blaze of glory move you can do where you're looking at the tower, it's wobbly, you're probably not going to be able to pull whatever number the DM says you need to. So you can basically push the tower over, and you still die, but you die with like success, like somehow setting up the party for future success. For an example, our friend Nick and I were playing in a Dread game, and we were being chased by like rabid wolves or something, and he was falling behind and stuff, and it just was, he's like, I'm not gonna make it, there's no way. So he's like, I'm gonna go out with Blaze of Glory. So they're like, alright, well, the plan was we were gonna throw like dynamite to like blow them up, and he was gonna like hop on I think we were trying to get on a plane, either in a car or on a plane, to get off this area we were in. And so instead he's like, what if I just catch the dynamite and like basically let them dogpile on me and then like explode it? And we're like, oh, like brave sacrifice. So that's what he did. He went kabloomy. But yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, there's so many games out there. If you let me know what kind of genre you're interested in most, and then like how mechanic-y you want, like do you want super crunchy, do you want more theater of the mind, I can probably direct you to a couple different ones at least. Like maybe you're super interested in horror. Oh, I just got your message. Ah, you're talking about your tabletop simulator. Got it. Okay. Dragon Farkle. Nice. Yeah, Mice and off that list, like immediately. Mice and Mystics is a roleplay game. Trying to think. I don't know that many of the other are super roleplay. Oh, those are the actual board games. Oh, nice. Yeah, Mice and Mystics is... Have you played that one? Sorry, I thought this was like what you had on, like Tabletop Sim or one of those. That's what I was trying. Misunderstood. Because I've only gotten to play a little bit of Mice and Mystics. Our friend Nick has it, and we started to play it. Yeah. We started to play it. Unfortunately, we only did, I think, either one or two sessions, and this was kind of like early, like end of 2019, early 2020. So we haven't gotten back to that. I'm trying to think when we played that. Feels like much longer than that. Maybe we got distracted by something else. But I feel like it was like early last year. Because we were taking a little like hiatus from our D&D game, because we'd been playing that for 5 years? I think 5 or 6 years. But yeah, we wrapped that up at least right before the pandemic. And we were able to finish that. I like Mice and Mystics because it's roleplay enough that like it kind of scratches that itch, but it's also like board game enough that you can probably get other people who might not be diehard roleplay fans into it. Exactly. I know that feeling. Well, listen, you get me in a Zoom call, and I'll play with you guys. I'll just have to point and say, move me 3 squares to the left. Yeah, I want to go there. Throw me a PDF of the stuff. Yeah, because we played it, and it was really fun. Like I said, I think we did the first mission chapter. I don't remember if it's like broken out by missions or chapters, but that's the only one we got through. I think we may have started the second, but I don't think we finished the second or something. I feel like we didn't. Yeah, I'll have to see if there's I'd have to see if there's a way to play that. Problem is, because I was looking at Roll20, and their terms of service, you have to be 13 or with a parent to use Roll20. So I don't know that would work for some of the outschool stuff I was thinking of doing, unless I like hosted it and like did like a screen share. But I don't know that would be as fun. So I'm trying to think how could we do that, because I don't know the rules for. I'd have to look up just to see what age, because I could obviously run like Mice and Mystics on Roll20 for kids aged 13 to 15 or 13 to 17 or whatever. Because yeah, I really want to do Roll20 is free, yes. So is Board Game Arena. There's a couple others that are free. The issue though is the age. Yeah. The issue is age. Just like Discord. I wouldn't be able to do anything through Discord because Discord you have to be 13 or older per Discord terms of service. I'm sure there's people who use it because they get like the permission from the parents and all that and whatnot. And that's the thing is Roll20 specifically says you must be 13 or older or 15 or older in EU, or have a parent with you if you're under 13. Soul. Which I don't care if parents join in, whatever. But, you know, if kids want to play without their parents, you know, creeping over their shoulder or something. You know. Get some pink robot going. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Roll20, just saying. I've used it for... Gosh, I've probably had an account on there since 2015, maybe? 2000... I think I can see on my... if I go on my profile. Now I'm curious. Let me see real quick. I always have a Roll20 tab open. If that tells you anything. Yeah, since 2015, January. 1,849 hours played, it says. I don't know if that counts also, like, hours that I've spent, like, just prepping a game or anything. So it might be inflated a little bit because of that. I'll use this color. Let's do this light pink. But yeah. I wonder if I can make it look like his button is glowing. Because that looks like a button. I want to see if I can make it look like it's almost like a reddish button. You like push like a glowing red. Yeah, so I have, as far as virtual tabletops go, I've used Fantasy Grounds as a player, never as a GM. And then I have one called Infinitas GM. Can't remember. It's on Steam. I have that one. That's a little bit more for like map making. And I think you can put character sheets in. I haven't loaded up in a while. And then there's Tabletopia, there's Tabletop Simulator, Board Game Arena. I don't think you can do just like D&D on. I feel like there's another one. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's another one that I've used. I know there's Foundry. I think Foundry VTT, which I've never used. I'm not sure of other ones though. On Board Game Arena, you can. I just the other day signed up for it to check it out because somebody else was talking about it, and I was like, well, let me see. I was super curious, you know. So I signed up for that one as well as Tabletopia, since that one's free. And I was really excited because it does have Plantopia, which is a game that I got for Ms. Gloom a couple years ago. I think it came last year, but I ordered it in like 2018. Or it might come this year. But it had that on there, and I was super, super excited. But it kept crashing when I tried to play it, so I was very sad. let's see. I want like a nice... Well, it doesn't look like it's glowing as much as I'd hoped. That's okay. Yeah, but if you think about it this way, the main goal of the game is not to roll dice. If you're playing... Yeah, Foundry's a lot. From what I understand, Foundry's a lot, and then I believe Fantasy Grounds is subscription based. And I'm like, screw that noise, I want free. But to me, like, I'm not playing the game to roll the dice. I'm playing the game to, you know, role play. So the dice are just secondary. Why is there like a line on here? Weird. There's like a line across here, like it's like indented. And really, I mean, the tabletop, especially for games like Numenera, The Strange, and all those, it's not even necessary. Oh, that's a newer thing. I haven't looked into it in years because I really had no interest in it. Because I was like, I can use Roll20 to do all the same stuff, you know, basically for free. So I never looked into it any further. Either 30 or 139. That's a little bit of a big difference. But yeah, for the games, I mean, like, the Cypher System games, you don't really need maps for so much. They're not a grid-based system. They're very theater of the mind, so it's more like, okay, you're gonna fight this thing. You're within immediate range, meaning you can get to it in like a step or two. It's within like, you know, between like 5 and 10 feet, sort of thing. You're in short range, which means you have to move it, and then the next turn you can attack. Unless you're using a short range weapon, or a long range weapon, or long range is like, you know, it's gonna take you a little bit to get there. Like they're across the room, you know, like I don't remember the exact distances. But like long range is, I want to say it's like 50 feet or more, or 50 feet to 100 or something. And then everything past 100, you like say how far it is, like that. That's like 300 feet away. It's much more like, so what do I use? Like intuitive, I guess you would say. So, you know, like you don't have to say I'm flanking or anything, because flanking's not like a thing. But you can say you're flanking in a chance to give an asset to somebody else, which would make things easier. So, it's interesting. It's definitely a different system. I really like it. I like running it. I like playing it. And the other thing that they use that's different than like D&D is, so you have like a set of skills. You might have a couple extra like abilities and things, but where the system kind of like gets its name from and like shines with, you would say, is the ciphers. So you pick up like what are called ciphers, and they basically are like one-time use abilities. So maybe you get something that adds electrical damage for 24, well, depending on the system, 24 to 28 hours. Maybe you get something that, you know, gives you extra armor for a bit, or, you know, whatever. And they're supposed to be like plentiful, and you're supposed to get more. So you shouldn't be afraid to like hoard them and use them. I use that one. Alright, I was gonna try to finish, but I think I'm getting ready to wrap up. We'll see. I wanted to finish this page. What time is it? It's only 9:37. Maybe I'll do one more robot. Let's do... I haven't done a blue robot, so he's gonna be a blue robot for sure. For sure. Yeah. Well, you said you like fantasy and you like role play. How do you feel about dinosaurs? 'Cause there's predation, which is a setting for Cypher system. There's also Gods of the Fall. I don't remember what exactly that one is. And then there's Godforsaken is another. It's Cypher system based, but I think it's a setting, or at least sort of a setting. I'm gonna give him a purple background. Let's see. Or how do you feel about playing tiny mice with capes and swords? 'Cause there's Mouse Guard, which is super cute. But that uses the Burning Wheel system, which I'm not 100% familiar with. And I've run Mouse Guard, but I ran it as like Mouse Guard Lite, where I stripped some of the rules out because the kids I was running it for were a little young, and they wound up just really, really wanting to like kind of play pretend and roll dice. So I basically stripped a lot of the rules out and just made it more simple. There's... I'm trying to think. Gosh, there's so many. There's so many. I'm looking across at my board. I got like Dungeon World. I've got... you said roleplay and fantasy. Because I have a game called Dialect. It's about languages, how they're created, and how they die. It's a roleplay game. I wouldn't say that's fantasy, though. Got Vert, but that's more sci-fi, but it's also based on Cypher system. That one is like you're kind of like super in the future, and you can, they use, it's very kind of like Ready Player One-ish, but instead of, what do you call it? Instead of like virtual reality, it's drugs essentially. And I think they're called feathers. What they use is the what is like the drug's name or something. And then I have, sorry, I'm just looking across at my shelf. Strange, Numenera. Call of Cthulhu's Horror. I have Valor, which is like anime system, kind of like Big Eye Small Mouth, except slightly different. I have, what's that other one I have? We also have Star Wars. We have Seventh Sea. Of course, I have a gajillion PDFs as well. Let me see, what's 7th Sea? I can't remember off the top of my head. Because I know there's 13th Age and 7th Sea, and I always get them both, like, kind of confused. Okay, so this is the description, for reference, of 7th Sea, which I have the book for. And then 13th Age, which I haven't played, so I can't vouch for. Where'd it go? And then this is 13th Age. I've seen a lot about 13th Age, and I believe it's supposed to be pretty good, but I believe it's also, kind of based on the 3.5 OSRs, or OGL, sorry, Open Gaming License. So it might be very similar if you've played D&D 3.5. It might be very, very similar in feeling and mechanic crunch level. Same with, I have a game called Legion. Legion? Legion? Yeah, Legion. That's space. You're like space marines, but it's based off of 3.5 rules, so it's very similar in like the level of like crunch and detail. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna finish this guy up and then probably head off. Totally forgot about my thing tomorrow night. I gotta make sure I have my stuff ready, since as soon as my husband's like off work, I'm, you know, bailing out of here to head over. Oof. I did not pay that much. Where are you finding that at? Check on Drive-Thru RPG, because I think that's where I got my copy from. It should not be $100. Because I have a hardbound copy and everything. I'm pretty sure I ordered it offline. 95% sure I got it off of Drive-Thru RPG or possibly Amazon. Is this? Chaosium. This is like on their actual site. Oh, that's the limited edition. Yeah, just the regular hardcover is $60. Yeah, that's the one I have. Yeah. I don't get that limited edition nonsense. No. Just the. It does look really cool. Listen, if I had unlimited funds, if I had any funds, no. Yeah. No, I do not doubt that a lot of those are really cool. I just don't have that kind of money to throw around. I mean, it's a lot of lore. It's a hefty book. It's what, like 500 pages or something, and it's I started reading through it. I think I got through, I want to say like 50 pages or so. It's a lot of lore. It goes through each of the like continents, kind of like their main, or not continents, but like I guess like regions. And it goes through like their main like philosophies and their beliefs and their like culture and how they view like other cultures. It's ridiculous. It's great, but it's a lot to take in. Alright, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll finish these next two, like next stream, cause my shoulder's actually kind of hurting. Yeah, there's like 13 age, there's... I'm trying to think what would be the best one, really. Like I said, I'm super partial to cipher system rules, so if you just look up Monty Cook games, actually what I really want to play, but I want to play it, is Invisible Sun. Look up Invisible Sun. Now that one is expensive. I think it's 100 and I want to say it's 130 or 150 for the basic one, and like 250 for the like Supreme Edition. But it's cool. It's a cool it's a cool thing. Hang on, let me see. Invisible Sun. Invisible Sun. Oh, maybe it came down in price. It might have come down in price. Or they don't have the... Actually, I don't see the, like, super... Yeah, I guess it's only $100 now. For the, yeah, well this one, so the thing about this one is I don't know that it would play as well online because this product is not available. Interesting. Whatever I clicked on, it's like, this is not available. Oh, sorry, they don't even have the box available. It's $99 for the PDF of Invisible Sun, which I picked up sometime last year for like $30, I think, when there was a sale on like Humble Bundle. But it's cool. There's like a whole box. There's the ideas that you're like, let's see, how can they... Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's a lot. I don't remember how much. What's the like elevator pitch for this? Here, Invisible Sun. This is probably the best. Come on, stop freaking out. Sorry, my mouse is like being funky. But this one uses like tarot cards and has like a really cool physical did that actually post? Truth that. Hold on. No. Why did that just randomly cut off? That's weird. Hang on, it got really weird and was like, you can't post that many. There we go. Let's see if it'll let me do this as well. There. I'd say that's kind of like the elevator pitch, I guess. That one's kind of like a modern fantasy, I guess you could say. One day. But yeah, the black cube, I believe it's like $2.50. One day. Alright, anyways, let me see if anybody's streaming at the moment. Not really. I mean, there's a couple people, but they're... I don't even know who this person is that I'm following, apparently. So, yeah. Yeah, peruse on, definitely if you look into the Cypher System, Monty Cook Games, stuff, let me know. Because I'm gonna sound like such a nerd. I just started the other day making a spreadsheet of all the books and supplements that they offer on the website. And I started going through and marking whether or not I have the PDF or the physical copy. I didn't get very far because they have like 100, I think I got like 120 products between like core rule books as well as, you know, like supplements and setting books and all that. So I think there's like 100 and I think my spreadsheet had about 120 on it. I didn't get very far with going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, you know, whether I own it, but I would say I own... Oh, let's see, if I look at my shelf... $50? Somewhere between 40 and 50 probably of that. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. I do have some 3.5 books and I do have let's see. I have a box. Hold on, let me grab my box and see what it is because I don't even remember. It's just over on the shelf. I have this box that I got at one of the game stores. I think I paid like $15 for it, but it's like, it says 2001. I don't know if that's the year, if that's actually here I can probably look in. But yeah, this is from the 70s. I think this is... Sorry, my headset's like falling off. Is this second edition? Is this... This might be actually the original, one of the original, like, old ones. But like I said, I think I paid, like, oh, this is 3rd edition, sorry. Right here, that's what I was looking for. So, I knew it wasn't, like, original, like, 1st edition, because it's not the red box. But yeah, I got this that has a module in it. And must be on the shelf. I also have, I think it's AD&D. Let me check. So, I've got a 2nd edition monster manual that I found, and I think this one I paid, I want to say I paid $6 for this. There's a ton of little sticky notes in here for, I went through and flagged stuff that looked either interesting or didn't exist in the current manual or something. So, but yeah, this is AD&D, and it uses THACO. So I think they go over how to do. Alright, is this THACO? I believe this one used THACO, because if you look at the, yeah, Armor Class 7. Yeah! Hey, Blaze! The only race you'll play. How's it going, Blaze? I was just getting ready to wrap up. We were talking about old versions of stuff we got. I got this book, which is, I guess, 3rd edition, it says. But I got this box from local store forever ago. Sneaking Warrior in plate. Yep. Alright. Let's go ahead and wrap up, though, because I'm tired. It's late. I got Baby Manda Wrangle tomorrow. You know. The normal. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening. Wrapping up, ending stream. Let's double check that nobody started streaming. Well, that's weird. It, like, everybody went away. Alright. Yeah. Nobody's really live at the moment. Awesome, sounds good. Alright, with that, I'm gonna head off. You guys have a great rest of your night. Blaze, thanks for popping right out at the end. I appreciate it. Be sure you guys to check out Miss Gloom tomorrow night. She should be streaming. Where am I even typing? Apparently nowhere. She'll be streaming tomorrow night, hopefully in the evening, and I will see you all around. Bye-bye now.